The previous was an extreme example, but not unlike anything that has actually occurred in the technology industry. I'm sure you can think of similar examples. Granted, the project did not fail simply because it was managed in a traditional project management way, but that it didn't contribute. Now, to exaggerate things to illustrate a point, let's quickly take the same example and run it in an agile project management manner. The project is still charted and still has a high-level budget. It operates under the same constraints. The big picture and objectives are defined. Instead of detailing every piece for the project beginning to end, the high-level needs are placed on a product roadmap. The overarching direction of the project, as with the traditional approach, are understood and used as guidance to what must be done and its general purpose. Like in the traditional project management approach, stakeholders are crucial. In the agile approach, the connection and constant conversation with stakeholders is even greater. The project team is cognizant of the fickle nature of the industry and their own enterprise. As the project traverses through the project waters, being adaptable and flexible is critical. The ability to change direction with as little disruption and loss of resources or work enables the team to move faster and in the right direction. Working closely with the project stakeholders, the project team gets an intimate insight into what the stakeholders are seeking and expecting. Working concurrently within the broad scope of the larger picture and objectives, as well as within the smaller short-term picture and objectives, the project team, with the other stakeholders, are better able to navigate the waters to reach satisfactory goals. Failures happen. In fact, they're expected. If you run a perfect project, then I would love to see it because I thought they didn't exist. Failures are inevitable. Better to fail early and in smaller hits than have major devastating blows late in the game. Failures are looked at as a lesson to learn from. Proving something is not going to work or is not working as was envisioned is how you avoid spending wasted time on solutions that don't work or are not desired. I've said in meetings where the development team presented the product demo to the product owners after months of diligently working on the list of requirements handed to them, only to have the demo blow up in everyone's face. A demo demonstrating something that is not what you wanted or is unable to fit within the larger business operations can make for a very uncomfortable meeting. Having constant check-ins and conversations on what is needed and desired can protect against these major blow-ups. In our hypothetical project, with frequent conversations and reassessments made, the work being performed was aligned to everyone's needs and adjusted as needed. With a software project such as this, compared to a heavily capital project which requires sizable amounts of resources, financial, physical, and labor, the cost scrap or rework is minimal in comparison. Projects such as this depend more on the knowledge of the worker and the computer power of Control Z, aka the ability to undo painlessly. Sure, there are time wastes that cannot be regained, but as the aforementioned example illustrates, if you spend the time to correct it before too much time is wasted, the better off your product will be. It's like walking down the wrong street. The more time you spend walking the wrong way does not get you any closer to your destination, nor can it be seen as a good use of your time. Stopping to consult a map or GPS to confirm or correct your path will be viewed as a better use of time. Using the Agile approach is how your team will be more successful running its little blue tube phone project. You'll be better able to assess and address the needs of the stakeholders, the fickle nature of phone users, the volatile nature of resource allocation and project constraints, the changes in technology, and the fluctuations of the market and market demands. It wasn't perfect, but you are certainly better off than what occurred when managing it in a more traditional fashion. Work was managed differently. The work that can or should be done was added to a backlog and reviewed regularly. The team worked on what needed to be worked on in the short term. When things changed, which they did, there wasn't much of a disruption. The plans concentrated more on the work that needed to be done next. The project kept propelling forward, sidestepping or backtracking where needed. One of the most amazing advantages that emerged from this project was that you had something in the market 13 months before the traditional project management version became available. I'm not saying that it was the exact same product on the market, but it was something. The minimum marketable features were determined, and when those elements were achieved, something went to market. It may not have been the complete mind-blowing package the executives dreamed about, but it kept the company in the market and current. For the project that was delivered 2 years late, though a more complete and robust product than the initial release in the Agile product example, it missed the boat to be successful. There are plenty more nuances between traditional project management and Agile project management, and how to best manage an Agile project. I took a lot of liberties with this example, but it should have put the concept of Agile management in your mind. You now have something to get your mental juices flowing. Throughout all of the courses in this series, we will go in depth with what could or should be done in many cases when trying to manage a project in an Agile approach.